guys, welcome back to my channel. To all those who are new to my channel, my name is Sibu. I'm just a Xhosa hand that you absolutely have to see. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and do all the nice things that you do for YouTube channels. And if you are a returning subscriber, part of the fam, thank you so much for coming back time and time again to support my channel. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And in today's video, I am going to be talking about something that I didn't think I was ready to talk about, but I guess I am, you know. So in today's video, I'm going to share a story about a toxic friendship that I was in. I feel like I always brag that, oh, my friends are her, my friends are her. And my friends are like that. They are. But I've had a couple of weeds that I've had to, you know, take out. So yeah, so today I'm going to tell you guys about a toxic friendship, and I would like you guys to comment down below and let me know what you guys think. Like, what do you guys think? Because okay, so the year is 2020. Just a bit of context. So it's 2020. I was going to do my master's for the first time, so I was starting off my master. I was doing my first year of masters, and you know, the money was very tight, and I had to do what I had to do to. It sounds like I'm talking about doing something illegal, but you know, I had a job. So basically, I had a job at a call center because I was like, I just want to finish these masters, and I'll do any type of job to get me there. So I worked at a call center, the big one in Mhlanga. I'm not gonna say the name, but yeah, I worked at a call center, and yeah, it wasn't a happy time in my life, but I was making means, you know, I was making ends meet, and I was proud of, you know, myself, and you know, imizamo that I was making. So it's 2020. Beginning of 2020, I started working at a call center. Anyone who has worked at a call center would know that zininzi training, like go back with training, and then after that make a product train, like it's a lot. So when lockdown started, I was in training, and then we had to go home. It was a lockdown, and then when we came back, we had to start all over from scratch with training. So yeah, the story time took place around the time when I went back. So after they had locked down. And guys, I don't know if one day it was in Denmark, but around that time for me, it wasn't a happy time in my life. It was not a happy time in my life at all. I was depressed, and I didn't get the chance to go home, and then there was lockdown. We couldn't travel to different provinces. So I ended up spending that whole lockdown, you know, period by myself. And for me, that was the most depressing. Like, that was the most depressing. So I was just on an all-time low. I was just not feeling okay. Okay, fine. And also financially, man, it was a mess. So I start my training. I restart my training. I think it was around July. I don't remember. I start my training, and I start my training. I'm very optimistic about life. I'm gonna finish this degree. I'm gonna and then and then I get a message from a friend. We will call this friend, what will we call her? What will we call her? Like, let's call this friend Tutu. Let's call her Tutu, because shame why Tutu na toxicity. Let's call her Tutu. So Tutu and I had been friends since varsity, but Tutu was not one of those friends where I went everywhere with. Excuse me, like, you would know, I would always go with, you know, I would always chill with Zama, but no, Tutu is not somebody that you would think, like, we know. So Tutu and I met, we lived in the same commune. I'm not going to say which here because obviously you guys are going to know. But we lived in a commune, and in the commune we were just united. We were one. You know, even if we weren't friends, because some of them we just became really strong acquaintances, but the bond was there. The loyalty was there. Like, you could never ever think that in the presence of somebody from the commune, something horrible would be said about you, or some weird vibes or moves at that time. Okay, so Tutu and I met, and initially Tutu and I weren't friends. But due to common interests and also we were one in the house, then we sort of like kind of gravitated towards each other, and then we became friends. And then okay, so Tutu and I become friends, and red flag number 1. So this is it's actually 2015, like I don't even have to hide the year. So this is a red flag number 1. So strangely enough, Tutu didn't have any friends in her faculty. Like, they always say, look out for a Han who does not have friends. Like, if you're going to be friends with someone already, there must be. I look forward to, like, if I meet a new friend, excuse me, I look forward to you introducing me to your other friends. Like, if you don't have any other friends, it's just like, why doesn't she have friends? Like, what's the reason? Tutu didn't have any friends. Tutu really loved her boyfriend loved her. Happy family, happy story. I need a refill. Okay, so Tutu girl does not have any other friends, and Sibu just overlooks this, because Tutu was not from here, she was from PMB. So it would make sense, just like Sibu would not have any friends in Durban when she came from Queenstown, Tapasich. Yeah. Okay, so Tutu and I become friends, and I don't hold back. If you're my friend and I love you, I will never ever hold back. And usually I would not even go pelili friendship and say horrible things about you. No, I don't do that. I always say I genuinely wish Tutu the best of life, but I don't want her next to me. Like, I do not want her in my life. I wish her the absolute best. Every single thing that she wishes and hopes and prays for, I pray that she gets it, but I do not want her in my life. I cannot handle. Okay. So Tutu would come to my faculty, Escalating. We didn't do the same degree, like, it was totally opposite. And she would come to me, we would hang out sometimes, and we would chill. I'm a music student, so we would have music shows, and then we'd go to the music shows. And, I'd have fun with her. And she was, she was a nice hand for the most part, She was a really nice hand. Okay, then we move out. The following year, people move out. And I'm still friends with Tutu. I still visit her, go commune, okay, spend the night, go nandi. The love is real. When you get to a point in a friendship where you're like, yeah, these are friends. That's where I was with Tutu. And then at some point, Tutu went, I think she changed campuses and she was no longer in my campus, and we sort of lost contact, but we were still friends. Like, we still spoke. Not as frequently, but we still spoke. So, okay, so fast forward to 2020. Oh, and also another thing, Tutu would always say, abantu bayamonela. I don't know how to say this in English, but she'd always be like, excuse me, so and so jealous of me. She saw me buying this and now she also has one. She saw me wearing this dress and now she also wants one. And she was always that hand that people are always trying to be like. And I was just like, oh, these people are so toxic. Why do they do that to you? Also, guys, look how much my hair has grown. Okay, we're not talking about hair. And then I'm like, okay, friend, she would tell me about this other Han that we lived in a commune with, and I really liked this Han, and I still like her even now. She was the most peaceful person you could ever meet. All she did was love her boyfriend and her books and her father. That's all she did. She was the most unproblematic person you will ever meet. This Han that Tutu hated. And Tutu did not like that Han. Every single time Tutu and I would be together, she would tell me about that Han is not nice and don't. And I tried to remain as neutral as possible in the situation because I did not want to involve myself in beef that has nothing to do with me. So I'd support Tutu as my friend, but the other Han did nothing to me. I don't see a reason why I should hate on her. Okay, fast forward to 2020. I'm working at a call center, going through it, you know. My lipstick, guys. Sorry about my lipstick, but you know, I've been doing so many retakes. Okay, so Ututu Atibana. Okay, so I'm working and I lived in a flat with another Han. I don't have permission to mention her name. And she is in the legal field, so I don't know where I can and can't go. So the other Han, Suzompa Igama, we are gonna call her Pearl. We're gonna call her Pearl because that's what we wanna call her. Yeah. So Pearl and I lived together, and Pearl went home for lockdown. So when I was alone in the flat, I was alone. No Pearl, nothing. Okay, fine, kuvulwe. I think it was level 3 or 4. Kuvulwe, and we go back to work. We start working, and I start my training. And as I'm doing this friend of mine, Tutu, sends me a message. Hey, Sibu, how are you? I'm good. Are you still in Durban? I'm like, yeah, I'm in Durban. What are you doing there? I'm working. Where do you live? Blah, 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 blah. And then she's like, what kind of a place do you live in? And I say, I live in a flat. And then she's like, do they allow visitors? And then I say, yeah, they do, for overnight even. Why? I'm thinking she's my friend, she wants to come see me or whatever. And she's like, yo, bro, I need to ask a favor. If you can, I'll even pay. I think she said I'll even pay or something to that effect. She's like, okay, what favor? So now I'm shook now. And she's like, no, I'm starting training for some call center called what. And I need a place to stay. And I don't want to officially move into a place before knowing if my thingy at that call center is successful. I'm like, oh, it's fine, friend, you can come stay at my house. You don't even have to pay because I'm allowed to have visitors. So I can get you can stay here for that week or so that you need to be here for training, and you can stay as my visitor. And then if things go well for you at the company, then we can talk to the landlord and we can see about getting you to move in just until you find a place to stay. Because I'm also in the process of looking for a place because this place is expensive and I can't afford it. Even I'm not stressed again now. Okay, is it fine? Okay, if I move in, did you know it's fine? You can move in whenever you're thinking of moving in. And then it's cool. And then the day comes, and then she comes. She is in the house as a what? A visitor, because she said she doesn't want to pay a lease like I was. So she wanted to be a visitor. So she's still at Sibu's house. I want to emphasize that part because it's going to come in very handy later on. She moves in as a visitor at Sibu's place. I'm happy. I'm welcoming, right in my place. And she moves in, she comes and her mom drops her off, then her mom leaves. And then as her mom leaves, when your instinct is like, man, something is very off here. I'm like, man, something is off. When you're just not feeling a vibe, I'm like, my friend is here, I should be feeling a specific way, but I'm not feeling it. I am not feeling it. I'm like, okay, as a non-Sibu, you are from a very deep depression. Maybe you're still adjusting to, how life normally is for you. And also, you haven't seen this Han in a long time. There's been a lot of growth between the two of you, in the time that you haven't seen each other. So, gending dismiss kanjalo, gut feeling. Yeah. She moves in unono. She does her training unono. The first part where I was like, no, man, this Han has an element of toxicity. Like, there's something off. So we shared a key, obviously, because she doesn't have a key because she hasn't officially moved in. So we share my key. So I worked from 2 in the afternoon to 12, and she worked in the morning to like 5. So I would be like, okay, when you leave in the morning, leave the key. When you come back, I'm going to hide the key somewhere so that you can find the key and open and get inside. And she was like, okay, cool. We do this successfully for a week. Week number 2, she decides that she wants to move into my place. And the landlord is like, we are going to require a deposit. So you need to pay a full month here, a full month's deposit, and then the rent for a month, and then you can stay. And then she's like, no, this is too much. Did you go, baby girl, speak to this man. He's a very reasonable man. Ask to pay for this in installments if you can. And she's like, no, I just da 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 da. And guess that you couldn't tell that girl anything. If she told herself about uzoyenza into. She does that. And then she moves out, she goes home. I'm like, you're going to come back when a Sunday. She moves out on Friday. I'm like, when a Sunday is a boy, because you're going to talk to this man, he's going to say it's fine, you're going to come back. She came back. Now she's moved in officially. Ne? And before she had moved in officially, we had some people over about visit. And remember, it's my apartment. I could do whatever the fuck I want. But yeah, they chilled with us way too. We were all drinking, nothing hectic. Okay, so she doesn't tell me that she's uncomfortable with some of these people being in the house. She doesn't tell me anything, so I take it to mean that everything was fine. Even the following morning, she didn't say anything, so I was like, hi, okay, we are fine. And then, anyhow, she hasn't said anything, and she doesn't have a right. It's my apartment. It's my place. It is my place. You can't tell me who to have, who not to have in my place. When I'm letting you stay at my house for free. That's just something that does not happen. Okay, fine. I'm right. And then she gets the job. She gets scammed. She gets scammed. At the workplace where she was gonna work, she rocks up one day after paying so much money. After paying the money, they scam her. She leaves. I say, and she's like, oh friend, I don't know what I'm gonna tell my mom. I'm like, don't tell your mom yet. Let me help you find a job first, and you can tell your mom in your own time. And also, it's about city, mama, I was robbed, but I have a job now. I get her this job, and then I help her find the job. I help her find a lift club. I officialize her lease with our landlord. I hook her up, because she's my friend, and I don't want her to struggle like I did. I hook her up. I find her transport for her. I find everything for her. And then I'm like, this is just temporary. If you want to change it, you can change it. But this is just to make sure that you're settled in. And then she moves in officially. We stay together. Hey, okay, so this other time we before she officially moved in, we were sharing my key, and then she decided that she wanted to go home. So I took my key because I didn't want to lose them. And then when her mom was gonna drop her off, I was like, your mom can drop you off at work and come here, and then I'll give her the key, and then she can drop the key off, go away, and then when it's key. That's what I did. The mom gave her the key. I don't know where the miscommunication was, but I did explain. But this key has everything, so all the keys that you need, Zilab, she knows which key opens where. I think mama okay, fine, all right. This Han gets home about 5. Obviously, I'm on the floor. If you've worked at a call center, you know that you can't have your phone with you. I'm on the floor, I'm working, and this Han is blasting my phone. And that day, I didn't check my phone at all because I just didn't want to. Like, I didn't see a need. I didn't check my phone at all. Did it pull around 12? Missed calls, thousands of missed calls, messages. And the tone in these messages is not, friend, where's the key? No, it's like, I'm waiting outside. Voice notes even. In whose house? Baba. Ingabi namsebenzi. And then I apologize. No, sorry. Oh, I first explained, friend, the key is with you. All the keys that you have are the keys of the house. I have no key with me. I did not leave a key. She's like, but you were supposed to leave it. I'm like, there was no need. Your mom was going to give you the key. There was no need for us to hide keys. You had the key, and I explained this. You have a key. You can come open. So she's upset and I'm apologizing because I'm a nice person. Like when I'm thinking back, I didn't need, to apologize. I apologize and don't because I did nothing wrong. And also this is my house. This is my house. No matter how sad someone's story is, don't let them move into your house. Don't. So this is my house, like I'm shocked. I enjoy it. I get there, I tell her because I don't have a key obviously, and it's not safe for me to stand outside at midnight. And when she opens, she's like, we're saying, I'm like, because it's a misunderstanding and I didn't make the misunderstanding, so what's making you angry? Like, I don't get it. I said, no, there's a key. I need to check these keys. I said, I asked a friend, and I even took your alcohol and I put it outside so that it's hot, so that I was punishing you. Punishing me in my house for a mistake you made. Punishing me. I was punishing you, Nje. I didn't want you to have the leisure or the luxury of drinking cold alcohol when you left me out there. And then I'm like, which alcohol? Because at this time I don't have alcohol. So I'm thinking, which alcohol did you take out? Because I don't have alcohol. And then I find my flatmate's alcohol spread out across the table. Not in the kitchen, in the bedroom. And I'm just like, what are you doing with Pearl's alcohol? This is not my alcohol, it's Pearl's. It's like, oh, I thought it was yours. I thought I was punishing you because... And I got lost. I'm like, you're punishing me? I'm like, please put this child's alcohol back in the fridge. There was no need for this drama. Even if it had been a misunderstanding, I couldn't need to get drama. I would not leave the house without leaving a key for you, Ngamasmo. Excuse me, even if I had left with the key by mistake, you had no right to do that. Aibo, CP, which planet? Okay, fine, I'm sebenzi. And then I get pissed off, but I don't say anything. Back then I was a bigger person, I'm not now. Back then I'm like, let me be the bigger person, let me just, she was angry, and I'd feel frustrated too if I was locked outside, At this point, okay, I get ready for bed and I finish the lie. And then a couple of days later, I'm not a morning person. Anyone who knows me, I'm not a morning not a morning person. Not that I'm not a morning person, but I don't believe in like deep conversations in the morning. For me, morning, get ready for what you're getting ready for. Some people like to meditate, some people like to pray, some people like the morning for me is like a very sacred time of the day. Like, that's when you plan out your day. That's when you decide by your day, is it going to be a good one? Is it going to be a bad one? Are you going to be productive? Maybe you had a bad dream. Now you're still thinking about it. Like, in the first 5 minutes of waking up should be sacred. Like, that's what I believe. So she wakes up this morning and she, like, as I open my eyes, she starts with a deep story about so-and-so, what? So in my head, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm like, first of all, I had a horrible dream last night. I'm still trying to make sense of this dream. And now you're here, and now you're telling me stories. It means, is it deep? So I respond, but not in the way that she expects me to respond, like not with the enthusiasm that she expects. So then the conversation obviously dies down. And then I see, but she's not okay with it. So later on, I see that there's a bit of friction between you and I. since the occurrence of this morning. There's a bit of friction, and I do not like that. And I feel like I may have been the cause. Why caused the cause of the friction? And so therefore, I feel like it's my responsibility to stand up and speak. Yeah, and to speak out. And the YouTuber friend, I see that, you and I probably, are having problems right now, and it could potentially be something that I did. And this is me owning up to the whole situation. Also, I can't need yamabele amakhulu, guys. Like, I can't need yamabele amakhulu. But that's not where we are. And then, so I tell her, I'm like, and she's like, it's because you didn't respond well. You know, when I was talking to you in the morning. I own up, I'm like, I'm so sorry, friend, but it's just not me. Like, when I wake up, I'm just not about the life of having deep conversations when I wake up. Like, I'd rather have one just before I sleep, but in the morning, it's very sacred. I've been having horrible dreams, and I can't. Sometimes, like, some days, and also with like living with a mental illness, it's like some days are better than others. Some days I can wake up and be happy, but some days I don't even want to wake up. So it's even a drag. It takes a lot of courage. So now I'm waking up and you're bombarding me with stories, and it's just so overwhelming. I understand. I had already told the people at the office about you, but I need a refill. And she says, Mana, I had already told my friends at work about name modes and this was rude, but in the moment, I guess I didn't think much of it, because this person is your friend, and usually with your friends, you give them the benefit of the doubt because they're your friends. You understand? I think I had already told the people that and missing it, I'm moving out because I can't stand you. Okay, fine. I apologize. Whenever I do shit, I apologize. I own up to it. I apologize. The friendship moves on. But okay. Go figure this. Okay, so in Patagaku, why would she say that? Like, why would she even... Like, if I do something that you don't like as a friend, why would you not confront me? See, I didn't like A, B, and C. Other people don't need to know that we're fighting. More especially when I don't know that we're fighting. Ooh, excuse me. Ndithule, guys. Hey, and Pearl warns me. Pearl says to me, see, this girl is not your friend. How long have you known each other? I'm like, we've known each other for 5 years. We're so close, we're friends. And Pearl is like, no. Please introspect. Like, please just introspect yourself and just observe the friendship. It's not what you think it is. They were shocked, but then I'm like, And then she says, okay, and then I'm like, I brush it off. And then, so this is red flag number 2. Red flag number 3 was... Okay, so remember I had told you that I had to restart training. So I was working, but I hadn't yet signed a formal contract. So now I signed the final contract and she's here. And I'm excited, I'm coming from work, I'm telling my friend, yay, friend, we're finally employed, bada, bada, bada. And she just says, We were talking about other things, and she was telling me something that made her happy that day. I was happy, we were excited. And then I said, oh, by the way, I take out the contract. I'm like, I signed the contract. And she was like, And she just got into bed and she slept. The conversation ended. Like, from update, we're celebrating what you achieved. When I mentioned what I achieved, you go to bed. She was like, And she went to bed. Shooty, that day she could not control herself. Walala, guys. Then I listened to Ilondok. So now Pearl's words were playing in my head. I was like, no, Pearl was right. Because no friend of yours would not even say congratulations when you sign a contract at work. There is no freaking way. There's a problem with this hand. I might not be aware of it yet, but there's a definite problem with this hand. Okay, fast forward. Okay, we move, and then eventually I see baha man. Akukho right here. And my friend and Pearl would be like, see, well, why don't you see that this hand is not right for you? She's not right for you. She always wants the attention to be on her. The second something good happens to someone else, she will just brush it off. And that's not healthy. The straw that broke the camel's back was there's it needs guys, isn't it? Maybe if it so happens that the man is but the straw that broke the camel's back was on a day where she was with her new friends and she had before the straw. So she would post very sus things. She would post, Bana, she's very annoyed. She does not want, she does not enjoy staying with us, Tina. We are such toxic people in her life, but she's still not moving out. Like, move out. If we're toxic, move the fuck out. And she was talking about how toxic we are. And she would post, and also, where's Gudla? With statuses. She would not say, see, I don't like A, B, and C, but she'd write with status. And when you see it, she'd be like, yeah. Wasigudla shem umntana wase-PMB. Wasigudla Tutu. And when she'd go home, she'd post stories about you guys nabantu who are not snakes or people who are just not toxic, where you just, like I can't believe I have to go back to that evil. Don't yay. And Pearl is like, see, are you seeing this? Hey! Now let's move to the straw that broke the camel's back. And also the reason why I'm telling this truth of mine is because I was never made aware of izinto that I could have potentially done that ruined the friendship. When I always stood up and said, spoke out, no, I don't like A, B, and C that you're doing, it's hurting my feelings. Please, let's change it. She never did that. She went to her new friends at the job that I had helped her get, from the house that I had helped her get, taking the lift club that I had helped her get. And she went to tell them, I'm toxic. Okay, fine. And then, and then this final step was she came home. We were home, we were both off, and she was going to have her friends over and I was gonna go to rehearsal, but I was like, no, let me take a walk, let me go to Tops and Spa. I needed a few things, so I go to Spa, I get whatever I get, and then before I go to Spa, I think she mentioned that she's gonna have friends over, and since we live together, I do not want the friends to come to a dirty place, so I'll clean up as much as I can on my end, so that when she comes with her friends, I figure go right, go clean. So I decide, after showering, I decide to wash my dishes. As I'm washing my dishes, she comes with a cup. And she's like, this was probably petty, but I was just over it. I was done. I had been mistreated for the longest time, and I was just over it. And I was like, if I let her treat me like this, she's gonna continue treating me like this. And then she comes with a cup and she's like, friend, can I please just rinse this cup quickly? It's just a cup, and I don't want to have to wait for you to finish your dishes. And I said, oh, it's cool, you can rinse your cup, and then when you're done, I can wash my dishes. She rinses the cup. As she's rinsing the cup, she sees she has other dishes as well. So she starts washing her dishes. Now I'm standing there waiting for her, and she's just adding, and I'm just being annoyed, because you could just put your dishes aside and me finish washing my dishes and just leave, and then you can do your dishes. And she did a whole mountain of dishes. So now I must wait for her, because she's the queen of the world. I must wait for her to finish her dishes, and then only, as a peasant that I am, guys, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be the bigger person. I'm like, okay, go get dressed. Done, babe, to get dressed. And then she comes, she's like, oh, you're getting dressed. I'm like, what the fuck else would I be doing when you're hogging up the kitchen? when you saw me busy in the kitchen and you placed yourself important. I'm saying this in my head. I just kept quiet. She took her stuff. She left. I went to wash my dishes. I went to Tops. On my way to Tops, I was like, no, if you let her get away with this, she's going to get away with so much more. Like, I'm okay. If this breaks our friendship, let it be. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. She says, okay, and then she says, I go to Tops, I come back. By the time I come back, Segebuile with her friends, because I was walking and she was taking taxis. So she's back with her friends, and I greet her in Njani, but I'm not okay. Like, in my heart of hearts, I'm like, we are going to have a conversation about what happened earlier today, because it's just not going to fly. It was disrespectful, and I'm just not going to let it fly. And then she and her friends were there, and she was like, watch movies with us. And again, like, I'm a very genuine person. Like, if we're not okay, I'm not gonna act like we're okay. Like, if we are having a tiff, we are having a tiff. Like, I'm not gonna be like, friend, knowing fully well that it's a kaben. No, until we fix things, I'll act accordingly. So again, I chill with him for about 10 minutes, and then the gent that was gonna fetch me for rehearsal texts me, I must get ready. I take my guitar, I'm out and about. I leave. I come back. The friends are still here, but now she's at a neighboring flat, which is something that she used to do. Like, she used to like to visit the gents that lived next door to us, and I didn't have a problem with it because, you know, it's not my life. She's an adult, you know. Anywho, baby girl. Okay, so now she's with them. I come home, I pour myself a glass of wine, and I'm like, yeah, so at this point, I'm gonna call you and I'm gonna tell you that I didn't like what you did. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call and I'm gonna tell you, friend, I'm gonna sit you down because I love you, you're my friend, I respect the friendship that we have, and I would like to be respected in the friendship that we have too. So I text her, I'm like, hey babes, where are you? She's like, I'm in the flat next door. When you're done, can we please speak? There's something that I really need to speak to you about, and I need to speak to you alone. So that's why I didn't say anything when your friends were here. And then she was like, oh, okay, I can come now. I'm like, no, you don't have to come now. And she's like, no, I insist. She's tipsy AF. She comes and she's like, and I know, at this point, I know this is not the state that she and I should be talking about this, because she's tipsy, I'm tipsy, we don't know what we will say. But I was slightly tipsy. Bona, they had been drinking since before I went to rehearsal, so they've been at it. And due to Goye, this is about what happened this morning. It's just like, what happened this morning? I'm like, in the morning when I was washing the dishes, you asked to wash and to rinse a cup, and I feel like this is so petty, but guess I'm like, this is about what happened this morning and how it represents other areas of our friendship. What happened this morning is unacceptable. I can't accept that, because I was doing the dishes and you came and you did your dishes, and you asked to rinse a cup. Next thing you're washing your entire kitchen, and I have to wait for that. That shows that you don't respect me as a person. That shows that you see yourself as superior to me. So I must wait for you when I came here first, but you must just do your stuff first because you have to go. Like, your problems are bigger than everybody else. And I don't like that. And I know you as my friend. You're not that person. But what you did in the morning can make a person think that you're that person. I'm not fighting with you. I'm just saying I do not like it. It came across very wrong to me. And she's like, oh, friend, I didn't realize. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, friend. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize it hurts your feelings. And then she apologizes. I'm like, no, we're fine. It was just a development area. I didn't like what you did. Like, I did not like what you did. And you do it other times as well. And I'm other times when she's done things that are similar to that. I'm like, no, you've done it before. And I don't like that. Like, I also want to be respected as much as I respect you in all areas of our friendship. And then she was like, yeah, we're fine. And the way that she looked at me, I should have known. The way that she looked at me. Also, that was the last conversation that I've ever had with her. And I'm very happy. And then she was like, and then she was like, oh, we cool. We hugged it out. We were cool. We were friends. I was happy. I was like, okay, this is very mature. Like, we didn't fight. She left back to the commune, to the flat that's opposite that she was chilling at. And that was the last time she and I spoke. The following morning, she was just not talking to me. The rest of the time, she was just not talking to me. Unfortunately, she was only going to stay for like another week, and then she moved out. And she moved out without even telling me. I feel like she didn't owe me anything. Like, she didn't need to give me anything. But as a black child who is brought up by black parents in South we have this thing called Ubuntu. It's not even a black thing, it's for everyone. We have this thing called Ubuntu. If somebody helps you, you open your mouth, you say thank you. If somebody does something to make your life easier, even if it's an inconvenience in their lives, you open your mouth and you say thank you. She didn't say thank you. She didn't even speak to me. We were in the same room. She packed her stuff and she left. She didn't even say anything to me. And I was okay with it. I was fine. I was like, I want to be a bitch. That's okay. That's all right. Like, we're not friends anymore. And I had unfriended and unfollowed and blocked her everywhere, because why must you have access to me if you're this type of hand? She moved out, guys. It was on a Sunday. And she moved out, and Sana, I can't tell you how relieved I was. She moved out. Pearl and I were relieved. We could actually live our lives and be happy. And then, she moved out, and she posted a status saying, "Bye, yena waphumile eGibhithe," where she had been shackled and she was mistreated, and she was not treated like the fucking queen that she is by us, her peasants. And this broke me. I was like, "Uncede umntu," and this is what they say. You can't even open your mouth to say thank you, Sibu, you've helped me, and you have the gut to post. I sent her a VN from hell. I was like, this can't be you. After having helped you with everything. And usually, guys, I never count. If I do stuff for you, I'm doing it from the bottom of my heart. The only thing I require is for you to open your mouth and say thank you. And I'm not even a drink. Just open your mouth and say thank you, Sibo. I appreciate what you did, so I can feel good about myself, and also I can feel good enough to do it for the next person, because this is who I am. Anyway, Kesana, she just blue ticked me. I blocked her everywhere. She probably blocked me everywhere. And that was the last I heard of it. And guys, if you know her, please don't mention her name in the comments. Please do not mention her name in the comment. Don't do it. Anywho, okay, that was my toxic friend moment. Go through it, guys. And for the longest time, I was like, I'm never going to do something like that for anyone, because why must I help people if it always backfires? And Usiwe, actually, she spoke me out of it. She was like, no, this is who you are. This is who I've known you to be for years. And you can't just change who you are because of one person who's unappreciative of what you have done for them. So be the person that you are. Help people if you want to help people. And, not everybody's going to be Tutu. And so that was the last I saw of Tutu. And guess what, when friendships end like that, that's when you see, but hey, why did she not have friends when we met? When she wanted to move to Durban, why was I the only friend she had? Anywho, Kesana, the moral of today's story is that no matter how sob the story is, no matter how sad the story is, do not borrow people your money. Okay, she didn't borrow money from me. Do not borrow. Also, guys, I thought I was done with this story time. Guys, Tutu made us pay. Like, I would buy one. I remember when she first moved in, I had wine. So I was like, we're going to chill. We're going to have some wine. We're going to share it. And I had lots of it. So I was like, we're going to share the wine, da 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 da. But every single time Tutu bought wine, she would tell me how much it cost. She'd be like, it was 100 rand, so you owe me 50 rands for these 2 glasses that you drank. Like, she was that type of hun. Like, she would never just buy something and not make you pay for it. Whoa, I get. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming back to my channel and, you know, supporting the girl. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel and supporting the girl. I'm really appreciative of each and every one of you guys. I will see you in the next one.